Hello and welcome back to Serious About Salvage, another video on the channel. I tell you, it feels like it's been a while since I've been stood behind this camera, and it has. Yeah, apologies for the lack of videos, other things have been going on in life, but I've been tinkering away. I've had plenty of cars in and out, and it's time to start trying to get a few more videos going. Nothing major, there's not going to be a pile, but I've got a few cars coming in at the moment where I could do these, one-off videos, which I prefer to do, just a one video on a car from start to finish, in and out done, and move on, you know what I mean. So yeah, another car today. We have got a Vauxhall Grandland, 18 plate. It's a 1.2 petrol turbo, but it is an automatic, which is why I bought it really. I wouldn't have bought it if it was a manual, because there's a lot of them around, but yeah, it's an automatic, so I think that's a benefit for it, a plus for it, make it sell easier, and the fact it's got very little damage as well, which is the other reason why I bought it. I've literally just got back with it, so we'll have a spin round, have a look around it, and try to explain what I think's gone on with it really, and see where we can get with it. It might be a very, very easy job, this. So yeah, let's turn around and have a look at it. So there it is, it's blue, obviously. It's quite a high spec car, front and back sensors. It's got a radar on the front, for what I don't know yet, but it's got a powered boot. Obviously it's the automatic. It seems to have every button taken up with something in here. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice enough car. I remember doing that white one. Was it a white one? It was a white one a while back. I think it had a boot lid on it. Did it have a boot lid on it? Something like that. I was quietly impressed with it. The quality of them. They're not bad. They're not a bad car, not a bad car. It is keyless as well. It's got 2 keys. It's got the service book with it, fully stamped. And the damage, isolated to this front corner here. Now this bumper was popped off and just like flapping. It's strange. It's more like it's been reversed off something and it just pulled all the front corner of the bumper off. But everything seems to be here. And I mean, obviously it's very hard to tell right now, but it looks like 99% of it are just click all back together, because there don't seem to be any real damage on the bumper. It looks like it just all clicked back together, and probably not be all that bad. The only thing that is really damaged is the centre grille is broken. But other than that, the little look I had at the bottom, I mean, that all looked okay. But yeah, other than, obviously we'll pull the bumper off it and have a look behind it, but it's got coolant in it, it's got engine oil in it. It's managed to get hold of the splash guard and rip itself round. But the little limited look I had underneath it, there's no damage that I can see of under there. Now this was listed as a non-runner, which is the reason why it was a decent price. One of the bit of damage I had noticed, it was on the pictures, there's a line there, yeah, well you can see it on camera easily. Now that's easy enough to change. That might need a bit of attention. I don't think it's actually damaged the paint. I'm not too sure a dent man could get that out really. But, yeah, brand new Yokohama tyres. The brakes look like they're brand new. It's got a lot going for it, this car. I think it's got about 40,000 on it on an 18, so it's not too bad either. And as you can see, the booster is on it. Now, I'll go back to what I was saying. This was listed as a non-runner, and I think I know why. So I got it back, obviously, this morning, threw a booster on it. It cranks, but it just cranks and cranks and cranks and cranks and cranks. There's engine oil in it, no signs of any damage. Sounds okay when it's cranking. Now if you take yourself back a while to when I had that 69 or 68 plate Citroen C3 Aircross, that did the same. and it turned out that when these cars have a flat battery, you have to put power back to them, give them 10 to 15 minutes to reset the systems, because they will not start until they've done that, and that's what happened with the Citroen. Now I believe, Googling Grandlands, these are exactly the same scenario. You have to leave them be with some power to them for 10 to 15 minutes before they will start, otherwise they'll just crank and crank and crank and no start. So pretty confident, pretty much 100% confidence this is going to start up with no issues, which is why we're in here like this, because I want to get it started up. We'll just then reverse it off the trailer onto the ramp, get it up in the air, pull the bumper off, and take it from there really. But inside, very clean, good condition, everything's here. We've got a service book with all the stamps in it, and as I said, let's have a little look. I'm pretty sure the last service was at 37,000, I think it said. Yeah, so 20th of November last year at 37,877. So it's probably going to be just over 40,000, isn't it, I think? Yeah. Right, so there we go. Yeah, I said automatic. Now, I've had this battery on for a while, charging now, so it has been taking a bit of power. I mean, not a lot in all great fairness. I'm not convinced that battery's going to have survived, but I think we should give it a go and see what happens. Worst case, I'll just nip out and get a new battery for it, but then obviously I'll have to go through the same escapade of yeah, it's not happy. Oh, something's happened. Let's just give it a go. Nah, that battery's ghost. It's not even got enough to turn the starter, basically. Yeah, that's a shame. Batteries these days are not cheap. You're talking 100, 120 quid straight off, aren't we? Let's just try one other thing. So if we just get it running, it might, if we leave it to run for a while, it might bring itself back to life. But not not a lot's happening right now, is it? Had a bit of a frog in my throat this morning. What I'm thinking, we'll just pop the booster on alongside all this gubbins, give it an extra zap. And see if we can just get it cranking again. I can show you that at least it was cranking and cranking. Says it's on, and it's just clicked off, I think. No, it doesn't, it's still up. Oh, it's alright, it's staying on. Be a bit of a pain, that booster. Get any life out of it? There you go. And as I said, just needs a bit of time to settle down, and these things quite often do run, and that's a result. So that's why it went for a decent price. We've got everything going off here. We've got lots of faults. We're going to have lots of faults. Auto light beam and everything. This car, it's got some, hey, pretty much exactly 40,000 miles. Excellent. Yeah, built-in nav. It appears to be a really well-spec car. Yeah, it really does. Auto lights, auto wipers, cruise control. Very nice. And like I said, the main thing is it runs. It runs. So we can move on to second step, which is getting this thing off the ramp. First thing, is this going to stay running? Yeah. Get this thing off the ramp and get that front bumper off, basically. And yeah, good stuff. Right, let me get things moved around, and we'll continue. Right, off and up on the ramp. So let's have a little look around. Have a look at how everything's looking. Obviously, it's still running. I'm not convinced the battery is any good because I think the interior lights are flickering still, so I don't think it's taking any charge. But underneath, it hasn't caught the front panel at all. That's all still fine. This arch line was attached somehow in there. So probably pull this wheel off. I found a locking wheel nut key as well. Yeah, I don't think there's much we can see. I think we might be better just pulling this bumper off. Let's get it off. Assess the damage, but on the face of it, I think we need the centre grille. This middle grille, there's a section missing there. That bit. It's missing all down there, and the under tray, this end's missing on the under tray, isn't it? That's what it looks like to me right now. So a few bits, but yeah, let's get it all pulled apart. We can have a look behind it then, make sure there is no other damage we can't see right now, but just a few odd bits and I think it'll survive. There we go, we're off. Everything looks straight. No issues with the rad pack, radar's good. There isn't anything, the only thing, if you want to be really pedantic, is this little bit here. And that bottom one does bolt off on its own, so it won't be an issue to change if I choose to do so. But yeah, nothing on the crash bar, nothing on the leg. There's nothing, honestly. It's clean, it's good. No damage. Shall we turn it off and see if it'll actually power back up? It's not going to do. I guarantee you, I'll turn this off, there's no power to the car. Nothing. No interior lights. Nothing. That battery's bezoodled. Deaded. But engine good. Runs, moves and drives. So the bumper, basically, upper grille dead, lower grille dead. This piece, I mean, it's probably gonna, yeah, it's got some marks on it, and we won't clean up these. Probably best just getting one of them. Under tray needs replacing. That's missing off this side. Now that piece has gone back in, but it has got a crack in it. So, and the bumper skin will be fine. It's got a couple of little bits of paint marks, damage, but yeah, undecided right now on the bumper what I'm going to do. I'll have a look what's available and see what I can get, because I'm reluctant to get any paint put on it, because if I can get the dent man to deal with that, then the front bumper could easily go again. It's very minor, tiny little couple of bits, or just get it sprayed over that bumper maybe. Don't know really. Need to have a look what's available now, see what I can get hold of, get some part numbers, see what I can get. The splash guard, I think the splash guard is fine, it's just out of shape, so splash guard will be fine. There's no rips or tears or anything in it, it just needs to be relaxed in its correct place, and that'll go back in. Everything else is good, so yeah, happy with it really. So I need a battery, that's major right now, because I mean it's stuck here now. Get a battery on it, get it up and moving under its own steam, and then get the few bits and pieces, won't take much doing, back together and on the road. So a good one. So yeah, I'll get some parts together now. We're going to do it all in this video, be done, finished with. Yeah, so I'll update you and we'll carry on as soon as we've got some bits and pieces for this. Okay, parts have arrived for the bumper, well, for the Grandland. Everything's here and pretty much everything's brand new as well. I've had to buy a lot from the main dealer. Parts are pretty scarce for these Grandlands again, especially if you're trying to buy bits for the bumper. So So we've got it all, so that's the main thing. We've got the lower grille, brand new from Vauxhall. The side grille, I do believe is second hand, but it looks like it's brand new. It looks good condition anyway. Spotlights around, brand new. Under tray, brand new. And upper grille, brand new. Now believe it or not, this grille, there's £180 there in that grille, which is crazy, isn't it? Brand new, but there's none available second hand. Yeah, parts pretty tricky to get, but not to worry, we've got them all. We've also got a headlight tab repair kit. They do a special tab repair kit for these, so it's a proper job. So that'll repair that headlight. And everything else, I'm pretty sure, is good to go on this car. We've got a brand new battery as well, because that battery is kaput. We've noticed that's not charging. And I'm just in the process of speaking to my dent man in regards to this dent, which I'm pretty sure he'll be able to get out, I think. And we've got one of them coming. I don't think it's arrived yet. Don't think it's arrived yet. That one up there is for the QX30. Yeah, that's not it. So yeah, that's not come, unless I put it in the boot. I can't remember. I'll have to have a look in a bit. But first of all, we're going to get this bumper built back up. And then, yeah, it can go pretty much, it can just go straight on. There's nothing else to worry about behind there. Happy with all of that. It should be pretty straightforward. Right, we moved on a little bit in the process. We're all back together. Bumpers on, lines up great. I just need to give it a bit of attention here. It's just not quite holding on its clip properly. It should be there. It's just not quite holding properly, so I need to deal with that. But the rest of it, I'm really happy with, except for this bottom silver trim. Just around this area here, it's misshaped. It's discoloured. And I think it just ruins what looks to be a good clean car. Now they're not cheap then, it's like another £120 for that silver trim. But I think the car deserves it, because other than that, it's a relatively straight, clean car. I've just given it a bit of a quick wash as well, so we could actually see the condition of it. Because they always show up extra little bits and pieces when you wash them, because they're very dirty when they're at auction. So a little look around it, and we can see if there's anything else. We've obviously got this little dent. I've just put a bit of polish across it just to get the actual mark out. There's no damage to the paint, so I'm pretty confident he will be able to deal with that. He's not come back to me yet, my dent man, though. We've obviously got this trim to change, so not to worry about that. It's just not turned up yet. So yeah, rather happy with it really. It's turned out good. Haven't touched the inside, but we have no lights on or anything. It starts straight up. Engine sounds good. So everything sorts itself out. There we've got auto lights is on, that's why we've got a couple of stuff there. And that other one, that one is blind spot prevention. So it's got your blind spot prevention in the wing mirrors. Everything else spot on. Yeah, it's low on fuel. As we know, 40,000 miles, everything works. Been for a drive. It's actually quite impressive for being a 1.2 litre petrol in such a large car. I'm quite surprised. It's got plenty of low down grunt, and with the auto, it's quite smooth as well. So pleasantly surprised actually with this car. It's quite a nice drive. It is. And with all the spec that it's got, it has got some serious spec, this car. I think it's a good car. So now one other thing I must mention, obviously this is the 1.2 PureTech wet belt engine, and they do have a similar issue to the wet belts in the Fords, where the belts are degrading over time, and basically they degrade, they block up the pickup pipe out the sump, and they slowly starve the engines of oil. This engine sounds perfectly fine, and although it's got full dealer service history, there's no mention of it having a cam belt. So I am going to put a new cam belt kit on it, full kit, because it is actually due on an 18 plate. It's due now. I think it's 6 years or 45,000 miles. Was it 40? I can't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 6 years, 45,000 miles. Engine sounds fine in this. I've got, and speaking to a Vauxhall tech, they do bring up a low oil pressure warning first before anything really drastic happens. This has got no lights on it. Engine sounds good, so there's no damage been done to it. But looking in the service book, it doesn't show that it's had one. So for peace of mind really for me, and especially for the person, whoever buys it, it's going to get a full wet belt kit, and I'll obviously keep hold of the receipt, invoice for the parts to go with the car. Now, again, this friend I know is going to come over and help me do this. Like I said, he works for Vauxhall, so it won't be done on camera because I can't put him on camera. It's as simple as that. But like I said, I will have receipts to prove that it's had the cam belt kit. And you can tell, you can see that the cam belt on these anyway. If you open up the filler cap on the engine, shine a light in, you can see the cam belt, be able to see that it's brand new for any potential buyers. But that then will finish this car off and make it perfect in my eyes. Decent miles, 2 keys, full service history. As far as Salvage cars go, it doesn't get any better than that. And it will be a pretty clean car once it's all said and done. It's got brand new Yokohamas all the way around, good quality tyre, brand new disc and pads on the front. I had noticed on the past MOT it said that they were low, so they've obviously taken notice of what the MOT guys said and they've replaced them. So fair play to them. Whoever this belonged to obviously did look after it. Like I said, it's all main dealer services. They are all brand new, these tyres, all pretty much brand new. Decent make, yeah. It's been looked after, it has. So, like I said, a few bits, sort out that, just make that stay in there. Dent man, Campbell kit. And I'm going to change that silver trim. And the car will be done. So, I think I'm going to leave this video here, and I'll just tidy up the last few bits off camera, ready for its next owner. I dislike stopping recording for a few days and then trying to join back into the video. Which is why I've not been doing videos recently, in all fairness. I'd rather just get a load of parts here, do a car from start to finish in one video, done, gone, and you get a video to watch the car. So that's it, yeah. Like I said, but this is going to get the final bits and pieces done. I will get them all done, but you get the gist of it. The car's all back together, the car runs and drives. Looks great. So, simple fix. Not much has gone on, granted, but I hope you enjoyed. And thanks as always for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Okay, for the people that have hung on to the end, a little bit of bonus footage. I've gone against what I've said, and I'm going to show a little bit of this cam belt change, and I will show you the aftermath of the dent, which hasn't been done yet, but I will show you when it has been. He's coming today, apparently. But anyway, the cam belt. So, one of the things I wanted to do was remove the sump, because these cam belts, they're prone for degrading in the oil, blocking up that gauze there, basically, which runs the engine drive oil, kills the engine. So if you're going to do a belt on these, definitely remove the sump and clean out the gauze of any, bits and pieces from the old cam belt. Now, it's good to see on this one, it's actually in very good condition. I'm getting dripped on in oil here, I need to be careful. There's one little bit right in the middle, which obviously I'm going to clean out in a moment. But other than that, oh, it's got me. I'm glad that it isn't half blocked or anything, we've caught it in good time. You can't see the cam belt at this position. But if I get a torch, there is a little section you can see. So yeah, sump's off. You don't need to take it off to actually do the cam belt, but it's a must do. It's a must do part if you're going to change a cam belt on these. So driver's wheels off, aux belts off, crank pulleys off, and then you have this little inspection hole here, the plastic cover on there, and you can see the cam belt in there, the tensioner, and a little pulley, a little idler, whatever you want to call it. So that's part of the process. The next part, I will be pulling out the crank bolt, because there's that section comes out and exposes the actual end of the crank with the cam belt on it. Unfortunately, I can't take that off right now because I haven't got the locking tools right with me. So that will be the next stage, to lock up the crank and then take out that crank bolt, that pulley, the end, that piece separate, and then you'd expose the belt behind it then. And then above, I'm yet to take off the cam cover, a few bits and pieces, but you get the gist of it. I just wanted to show these few bits and pieces. It's good to document it for the car as well, to show that the car's had it done. And what I will do is, like I said, when the dent man's been and the cam belt is finished, I'll show you the original cam belt, because I'm pretty sure it's got some decent cracks in it. And it would be nice to see the difference between the dents. Like if you see that there, it's a substantial dent. It'd be good to compare it, won't it, to what you can do with it, basically. So yeah, like I said, just wanted to document the cam belt, and we'll have one last look at the end when it's all back together and looking good. There was one other thing, I knew I wanted to mention something else. Strangely, this is obviously the sump. If you look in the bottom of it where the drain plug is, it's got like a bolt, which is the thread, I get that, but it's like recessed up into the sump. So basically when this sump is flat, you pull the sump plug out and there isn't any possible way you can drain all the gear, all the engine oil. It's just physically impossible. You're always going to have a good, maybe even 8-9 mil depth of oil in the hole at the bottom of this sump. That is just impossible to get out unless you remove the sump. Bit of a strange one that, not too sure why, but worth mentioning. Anyway, that'll do for now. Right, the belt's swapped over now, so I'll give you another little quick look. We didn't look at the top before, did we? But anyway, that's the new belt. Nice and clean and fresh. And above, this is literally all you've got to remove if you've got a certain type of locking toolkit, because there is two types. The ones on eBay, they lock both cams together with one piece, so you've got to take this cast piece off the top of the engine, which means, you know, your fuel rail, all this stuff has to come off to get this played out, so the whole thing comes off the top, and then you can see the cams, you can lock the cams up. But the tools that my friend brought from Vauxhall, you have a separate tool for each cam. So you got your little inspection hole there, one goes in there, locks up that. The other one, you pull this little plastic bung out and it goes down and hooks in and then secures in place there. So it saves you a lot of time having to remove that, which is good. So that's instant gasketted on as well, so you'd have to reset that. So yeah, there's the belt. New belt, old belt. I'll show you the condition. I don't know how well it'll come off on camera, but see the cracks? That's obviously the outside, the inside. Definitely showing signs of breaking up. So yeah, definitely due. We caught it in good time because there was nothing in the pickup pipe except for that little tiny little bit, so that's good. So yeah, so we're all together now. Engine oil in. Should be up and running. Okay, that man's bin. Car is finished. All the cam belt job has been put back together, up and running, serviced, ready to go. In terms of the dent, it's 99% better. The issue was, which I didn't notice, was this last little bit on this end is actually where it's double skinned. So he physically could just not move it. Obviously it's solid. Can't get behind it to push it out. So there's nothing really more he could do. But like I said, it's 99% there. It's a lot better. Rest of the car looks good. So we are actually done and dusted with it. It's actually off on its way to the new owner now. Just about to take it. So this is most definitely the end of the video this time. And yeah, good. It's turned out an okay car, decent car. Come back together quite easy. There wasn't a lot of damage. It's nice and clean inside. Reasonable mileage. Cam belt done, which is a massive bonus for these wet belt engines. And new tyres all around, new brakes, serviced. What more do you really want? So thank you as always for watching. This is definitely the end, so don't hang around any longer. And yeah, cheers. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.